Is Bitcoin toast? Well, let's have a look here. So, Bitcoin, as I said recently, I'd sold half of my Bitcoin a week ago actually, and it's back down at rough area of where I sold half. However, I also sold a quarter. The early part of yesterday, about 53,000, I sold a quarter. So actually only holding a quarter left at the moment. So why did I do that? Well, I was doing what I normally do over the weekend, assessing the sentiment out there in the markets, whether it be across the stock markets and also towards Bitcoin as well. And my concern towards Bitcoin is that it's just getting a little bit frothy. And going into the weekend, back on Sunday, it was sitting up at 57,000. And I was speaking to a trader friend of mine who has a lot of people that he deals with who are heavily involved in Bitcoin. And he said that he measures that sentiment as well, and he could tell by the amount of bullishness that was there that he started getting a little bit concerned. And he said, ironically, he said last summer, which was a great time to buy, they were all quite bearish, looking to a lot of them were shorting. And now, going into the latter part of last week, they're all talking about it going to 100,000, half a million, million, and all sorts. So who knows where it's going to go? But what you can do is gauge investor sentiment. And when it comes to investor sentiment, when the masses are in something, it's likely going to it's going to likely end up in tears. I remember many years ago in 2011 giving a presentation to a load of traders who, back in 2011, loads of traders wanted to be involved in gold, and they were uber bullish on gold and sort of shouting me down, so to speak, when I was saying, "Well, I think gold may have topped out for a while here." No, you're wrong, Charlie. It's going to go to $5,000, and we know what happened next with gold. And so it's the same mentality, it's the same mindset that's been going on of late with Bitcoin. Bitcoin was the funny enough, the euphoria was not there when Bitcoin got back up to 20,000. And that's why I held, because we hadn't received got to any stage at all where there was any euphoria at that point. But lately, in the last few weeks, we have been seeing that. Now, I can't tell you whether Bitcoin is going to be up at 100,000 in a few months' time. Who knows? But it's hard to tell when you're in a rip-roaring bull market. But generally speaking, let's have a look at this technically. So technically, we've got these highs over here around about 40, call it 41,000 to 42,000. We've got these highs here. So if Bitcoin's going to come back further, that would be the first logical zone that it might want to retest. This whole low 40s, 40,000. So that might be the next logical zone. Buyers tried to buy it yesterday and it sold off. So technically, that would be the next zone that some technical buyers might be looking to come in on Bitcoin. But as I've sort of alluded to, I still don't think, even after this sell-off that we've just had over the last couple of days here, Bitcoin's down 14% so far today. I'm not entirely convinced that will have really cleared out too many, because what Bitcoin's done and what the cryptocurrency's done a great job of is convincing people to hold. And so I'm not entirely convinced that this pullback is really going to frighten too many people yet. So I think that actually there could well be a sharper correction still yet to come. So I'm going to say that because I've sold out 3/4 of mine, aren't I? I just thought, like I said in my video a week ago, more than happy with a fourfold increase or whatever it was from where I got in, between 9 and 10,000, and it was time to take some off the table. I could sense extreme really in sentiment. Now, as far as the blockchain itself is concerned, that's absolutely fine. But as Nassim Taleb said at the weekend, that Bitcoin was invented to be a medium of exchange, and when the medium of exchange is far more volatile than the products and services that you can buy with it, that's a problem. So, and he's absolutely bang on as far as that's concerned. So at some point in the future, its volatility needs to die down. So because it just moves too much. How can you take a Bitcoin today in exchange for a product or service of yours, if tomorrow it's going to have reduced in value by 10%. It's just too volatile in that regard. However, the technology itself is obviously here to stay. We'll just have to see what's gonna happen. My view is, I'll be blatantly obvious with you. It doesn't matter how good any of these the technology in the cryptocurrency world is, and how good it all is. When the mass investing public are getting involved in something, there's going to be tears. That's just the way it works. It's study your history. The masses never make money collectively in a mass investment. So somehow or other, and I don't know how, I don't know what would top it off as and when that does happen. I don't know. For all I know, we might go to 100,000 next. All I am saying is that at some point there would be an almighty crash, which will come from somewhere, and the people that are carrying on holding, who think it's going to go to 1 million, we'll see it come all the way back down again. So I don't know from where though, but all I'm saying is I study my history, I know my investment history like many of you do, and when it's too good to be true as an investment, usually, and too many investors are involved, usually it's only a matter of time before said investment ends up collapsing. So I don't want to be a bear or pessimistic on the technology or anything, no, in that regard, but I can speak from experience with my limited 24 years of experience that this is likely going to end in tears at some point. And so, yes, it's got very frothy of late, but and who knows, maybe it comes down more. It could certainly come down from here. I don't think that the weak hands have really been flushed out that much yet. However, is that it? Well, that's another. I don't suspect it possibly is, but certainly it's given me caution to want to bank a bulk of my profits, and we'll see what happens going into over the coming weeks. But for me, I'm just a bit concerned that too many people think that it's going to go to the moon, and when too many people think something's going to go to the moon, it invariably doesn't. Enjoy your week. I'll be back on Friday for live trading. Take care for now.